Hello guys, I'm Zombixcat and I'll be taking you around a track guide around Austria and F126. So to put it pretty simply, Austria, I'd say, it's not too easy. I mean, it's quite difficult. But it's one of the simpler tracks in my opinion. Quite easy to learn, one of the first ones I ever learned. I'm happy to bring you along through a guide. So first we'll go through a slow, quick lap. Talk through what I do, braking zones, ERS strategy, all that. And then I'll show you a fast lap. And yeah, and I'll talk about the mistakes I make, mistakes you could make, and any advice I would give. And yeah. But mind you, I'm not the fastest driver, so of course take this all with a grain of salt to maybe improve your driving, potentially. But yeah, so let's get straight into it. Welcome to Austria. Here's my track guide for Austria. So, now here you want to go as wide as you can, open up the track as much as you can. You can have medium or off for this corner, because I find you need to carry as much speed as you can through that first corner. You can gain probably 4/10 or 6/10 depending on your previous lap, but if you can carry a lot of speed to there is loads of time to gain. So yeah, so you want to probably dab the brake, I'd say. Dab the brake, not too much, but you want to get back on the throttle as early as possible. Probably use a bit of that yellow curb in the middle, but I wouldn't recommend it if you want to. If you want to gain more time, maybe use the yellow curb, I don't know. I haven't tested myself. If you, yeah, you want to open up as much as you can. Be cautious on that green part because it is a bit bumpy. But yeah, as soon as you're out there, early on the boost as early as you can. Just early as you can, early as you can. Flat out, flat out, flat out. Probably using your ERS down to 60% maybe. 60, 50%. But yeah, you want to open up the track a lot here, so you can either, I mean, yeah, you can either use the green too. You can use the green, but then you're really pushing track limits here. I made one wrong move in that track. Look, I'm already on track limits, but look, here I'm not on track limits. You really push it, it's going to get invalidated. So yeah, but you'll be flat out. With the new 2026 batteries, sorry, you will need to lift and coast. If you don't lift and coast, you're losing time. The fastest way around the track is the slowest way around the track. That's how it is now. So you want to lift and coast. For me, my method of lifting coasting is, I'll hold the brake here, going full throttle, and then slowly lifting off. Like within a short amount of time. Not instant like down, just slowly lift off so we have a bit of power, because we still regenerate the same, and it stops the boost mode. Because when you turn on boost, it still takes battery. But when you slowly lift off, it will stop using the battery. So I recommend lifting coast maybe just before the 150 meter board for the first corner, or at the 150 meter board corner. Or the corner, sorry. You want to be fully lifted off by then. Maybe start lifting off about 30 meters before that, 20 meters before that. So yeah, come on up here. Using the green. Braking at either the 100 meter board, or if that's destroyed, the black board up there. There should be, you see that black board at the top, my mirror's blocking it a little bit. So that black board, you want to brake at that point. Or 80 meters, like an imaginary 80 meters, which is probably the second the Novo sign. Yeah, because the car can't do it, it's just a bit nifty, I'd say. Also, you are going uphill, so, you know, the elevation is in your favor, of course. So it will help you brake and slow down. We don't slow down too much, so it's kind of a bit of a dab, I'd say, just like the last corner. You just want to slow down enough that you can get the car rotated and chucked over this. I would recommend probably going as tight as you can on that corner. Ooh. As tight as you can, as tight as you can. Probably turning in just after the, maybe a bit later, after the 50 meter board, probably 30-20 meters. You definitely want to get as much of the curb as possible without invalidating track limits. Because as much as you can cut that, the more time you gain. Just make sure when you're going over the yellow part, your car will be unsettled. So be careful when you're going back on throttle. I'd recommend for turn 1, go on back on throttle as early as possible. It should be flat out as early as possible. You should be flying out here now, using all this curb. Do not touch that yellow bit. Do do not do a Kimi Antonelli and go wide.
But that won't be an ideal exit out of turn number 1. Could he be vulnerable to the Scala Ferrari? Antonelli was off the road at turn 1 but rejoins in 4th place.
Because if you go wide, your car is going to ride yellow curb and you'll lose so much time. And if you go wide, even if you jump over the curb, you'll probably have to get back on it and you'll lose so much time. So honestly, just don't do that. Yeah, here we are, straight mode now. Boost, using boost to about 50, maybe 60%, because we've regened a lot of boost from that lift and coast in the first corner. Yeah, you want to stay to the inside here, stay to the inside. You can go to the outside. I would experimented with it. You know, my fastest laps, I was on the inside. Of course, remember, I am a beginner. Well, not a beginner, but I'm intermediate at the game, so obviously don't have the fastest time. But this is just, you know, just like I said earlier. Yeah, slowly lifting off again, so you should be lifted off by the 150 meter board, and again, going uphill, so we should be having the benefit of the elevation, which should be in our favor, helping us stop. We should be lifted off by now, so fully lifted, probably braking at the 100 meter board, and if that's gone, the black board that was up there. Yeah, either the 100 meter board, black board, or 80 meters. There is no 80 meter board, so maybe that second MSC cruise this time. Or the third one. Yeah, 80 meters, you know. Yeah, so you want to brake there. You want to slowly trail brake off. Probably turning in at the 20 meter, the imaginary 20 meter sign. Using all the curb, all the green, but try not to do track limits. As right now I am track limits, but yeah. Try to stay in track limits. Probably safest to stay on the curb, but if you want to open the corner up the most, use the green. So coming up here, cut over the yellow, the apex, and then flat out as early as you can. Same thing like turn 1. Something I would really recommend is to not go over. It's not really a sausage curve. It's kind of like a thin one. Don't go over it, because you will lose time. I'm sure if you went slower through that corner and got out without touching the sausage curb, you'd be faster than going faster through the corner, but going over the sausage curb. Because if you go wide here and touch the sausage curb, you will lose so much time. Yeah, so when you're accelerating, you want to go as far to the left as possible without touching the sausage curb. I stay on the curb, but mind you, it does make the car a little bit uneasy, but it does help me get early on the throttle, because this isn't a long straight, but you do need speed for it. So going up here, straight mode, boosting until about 40%, I'd say. Just boost down to 40%. Lift and coast at the start of the curb, so you should be fully lifted by the 150 meter board, but slowly lifting off by the start of the curb. And then coming down here, this is downhill now, so the elevation is against you, so you should be braking earlier, but maybe braking at the 100 meter board or 80 meter board again, because you do have a lot of space, but it isn't that bad of a corner. It's quite a high speed corner, but it's like medium speed, I'd say, so you don't need to brake too much. But yeah, 80 meters, and then turn in. The curb is a bit bouncy there, mind you, so the car may be a bit unstable in the braking, but you should be fine. Come down here, stay into the middle, don't go over that curb, whatever you do, or go on the green, because number 1, you can see it leads to the grass. That doesn't really gain you that much time if you really want to do it. So you want to get as early on the throttle as you can. I know I say this a lot, but just get on early as you can. Go wide, you can even use the green if you wanted to, and then boost again, maybe down to 30-40%. See how it is. It's just a guess. You want to lift maybe at the 100 meter board there, so fully lifted by the 50 meter board, but you start lifting at the 100 meter board here, or the black board that is above it, because the black boards are very good for as a reference. Anyway, so for here, all you need to do is brake at the 50 meter board, literally dab it, just dab the brake, like dab it, but hold it for a little bit. So obviously don't do throttle, but be fully lifted and dabbing it slowly. And then when you get back to the curb, you want to do flat out, so full throttle at the start of that curb. use all the track, go out into the green without invalidating. Open up the track as much as possible. Now here, it honestly depends on how the car's feeling. You can either take it flat out, but the car may be a bit unstable and you might lose time. Or you can do a little, like a halfway lift, but instantly back on for like a second. Gain some battery for the next few corners. I myself, in the race, do flat out. And then in qualifying I do the half lift to get more battery. But honestly, down to you. Down to personal preference, so yeah. For here, there's no braking required. So if you're lifting, if you're doing half lifting, probably recommend it now to half lift. And then stay to the inside. Don't go on the curb, like I just did there, don't go on the curb. It's better just to stay on the track. And then half lift and flat out. And then you'll boost all the way to zero. Boost all the way to zero. And once it goes zero, turn it off. You want to turn it off once your battery gets to zero. And then you want to lift at the 100-meter board. And for me, depending on your car setup, you will only have to do a micro lift. So coming around here, you'll make sure your battery's off as well. Micro lift, like literally, if you look at my throttle, like a, and then that micro lift, and then keep it going. Go outside. You can probably keep it like this. Just don't go fully on that white because it's a bit bouncy. But yeah, stay like that, as I said at the start. And then, like I said at the start again, a little bit of a dab on the brake. Chuck it over. Flat out over it. Cut that as much as you can without validating. Remember, don't go out here on the green. Just stay on the curb. It is a bit bouncy. Stay on the green here. And then, boom. That is a lap around Austria. Just make sure out of the last corner you burn your battery to zero. That is all. That is my Austria track guide. And time to move on to the fast lap. See you guys there.
Hello, Zombix commentator here. So here we are coming out the final turn, burning the battery down to about 60%. So I think I pushed it a little bit. Yeah, I lifted about a bit later than 150, braking at about 80, flat out over the curb, burning the battery now, burning. Just below 40, I think I did push it at 30. You can do that if you want, lifting at 150, braking at 80, flicking the wheel in, early in the throttle as possible, using that curb to stabilize. Straight mode and boost all the way down to 20-ish%. No, the 70s actually. Lifting at 150 just earlier, braking at 100, trail brake it in. Barely touched that inside curb, I wouldn't recommend that. Going on the outside, boosting down to 10%. Now no percent. Flat out, a little bit of brake I accidentally applied because my pedal is a little bit scuffed. But flat out, half lift. There's a little bit of boost on the last bar. Now boost to zero. 2 purple sectors, down 5/10 in my fastest time. I lose all the time because I used all the battery too much. But yeah, micro lift there, boost, a little bit of track limits, cut as much as I can. And boost to the line and at 1055. Honestly, I think I could have done a lot better if I used less battery, but yeah, hopefully helps you guys recreate my lap and probably get a better lap time yourself, just as an idea. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye bye, and make sure to catch me on Twitch as I stream on there too. You find the link in the description at twitch.tv/zombiescat, so I hope to see you guys then. Bye.